YouTube, I'm Kirsty, and in case you just missed SmackDown Live tonight, I got you. Okay, you guys, this was Bischoff's first episode of, like, being the general man, and I'm so excited. It was so good. Look, got my KO shirt on. It's backwards to you guys. It says okay. KO is okay. Alright, so we start with Shane McMahon has hired security to keep Kevin Owens out to stop him from dropping another pipe bomb. You know what? I wrote the word pipe bomb on Twitter yesterday, meaning this, and I mean nothing happened, but like I have a sneaking suspicion that the government is like watching me now. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's just Kirsty's paranoia. Okay, because Shane says that KO was in insubordination, and he's going to have a town hall meeting, but Kevin Owens just needs to go home. All of the SmackDown Live roster appear for the meeting so they can air their grievances. Roman Reigns goes first. It's like everybody is at the top of the stage, like before the ramp, and there's like a mic there. Did the light just change? Roman Reigns goes first and says, "You don't get it. Nobody respects you." And tells Shane to kiss his butt. So Shane says, "I have to fine you for that." Then Charlotte Flair is next and says, "That was uncalled for. Thank you, Shane. Your whole family has been so kind to me since the day I was born." And who cuts her off? Liv Morgan. Guys, those Twitter missing posters of Liv Morgan, they paid off. Liv Morgan says, "You're such a phony. Nothing about you is real." To which Charlotte says, "Who are you again?" "Yeah, a blue tongue is totally real. I didn't even know you still worked here." Then Buddy Murphy comes up and said, "Kevin Owens said my name last week. He doesn't need to fight my battles. In fact, I'll fight him." And then Apollo Crews says, "Kevin Owens was spot on in everything he said last week." And then Zelina Vega says, "You're sucking up to the WWE Universe. Andrade should fight you tonight to shut you up." Then Elias, "Hello, I am Elias." And the New Day cuts him off, calls Elias a name that I won't say because this is clean for the kids. Kofi says he doesn't like Kevin, but Kevin was right. It took 11 years for Kofi to get a championship run, and the people behind him deserve to, and Shane McMahon has Kofi's mic cut off. Shane ends the town hall meeting. But then Cesaro comes out and says, "I am here as a wild card, and I am challenging Aleister Black because I want him to pick a fight with me." Shane says, "Alright, cool." So everybody leaves, and Shane says, "I hope that this proves I don't rule with an iron fist." Who should pop up behind him? Okay, KO. He's like in a security shirt, well, like a polo with like a little WWE logo. He goes and does a stunner. Okay, the stunner fails the first time. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Shane kind of trips. It's all over Twitter. If you mixed it, it was like a huge botch. But he finally delivers the stunner and then leaves. Our first fight is Aleister Black versus Cesaro. Aleister punches, but Cesaro kicks and uppercuts. Aleister does a huge kick, and Cesaro rolls out of the ring. So Aleister sits in the ring and waits for him. Cesaro comes back, and Aleister kicks him, but Cesaro does his forearm. Aleister kicks his chest, and Cesaro catches it, throws him out of the ring. Goes out, throws him back in the ring, does a suplex into a hold, but Aleister gets out and does a double knee jump to Cesaro. Aleister uppercuts, runs to the ropes, but as he's running back, Cesaro does like an uppercut as Aleister's like in the air. Cesaro puts him into a submission, but Aleister gets out. Cesaro puts him back into hold, but Aleister reverses it, flips him, does a clothesline and a sliding knee. Aleister does a moonsault. Cesaro does some huge uppercuts back, puts him in crossface, but Aleister reverses it and pins him. Cesaro kicks out. Black sends him into the turnbuckle post, does a big knee, and then when Cesaro's down, he picks him back up with his foot, like Cesaro's head's right here, and he picks him up like that. Sorry about my foot. Then he does a black mass so hard, Cesaro's mouthpiece flies across the ring. Cover, Aleister Black wins. And if you guys saw my Love Island or Big Brother video the other day, you met my Chihuahua Caffey. This is my pit bull Rocky. Okay, backstage, Dolph tells Shane Kevin Owens has given them both stunners and someone needs to teach him a lesson. It should be me. Shane says if Dolph can get him back, he can fight him. In fact, Shane has some grievances to air as well. Then there's, they go back to a WWE.com interview where Daniel Bryan said he failed at elevating the tag team division, and to save the planet, he has to go where Daniel Bryan, has never gone before. And then they announced Daniel Bryan is going to make a huge announcement tonight. Next we have Charlotte Flair versus Liv Morgan. Again, the missing posters worked. Eric Bischoff, like seriously, I'm on such cloud 9, 10, highest cloud ever right now. I loved this episode. Charlotte pushes Liv down right away. Liv dodges a punch by doing a backbend. Morgan then does a slew of punches to Charlotte, a big drop kick, and then lays down and like has her feet going behind her. I'm sitting on a stool, so I can't do that. Liv starts to do a hold, but a couple elbows by Charlotte lets it go. Then Charlotte does a hold to Liv on the rope and chops her. Liv reverses Charlotte's throw, lands on her feet, drop kick, stomp to Charlotte's neck. Liv jumps, but Charlotte catches her, slams her down, does a figure four, Liv taps. Charlotte wins, and Liv is crying on the apron. Then she goes, rips the headset off of Corey Graves, and says, Charlotte was right. When I come back, I'm gonna be real. Character change, I assume, is what's coming since the Riot Squad is no more. Where has Ruby Riott been? Like, we've seen Sarah Logan, now we've seen Liv Morgan. Where's Ruby? Okay, and do you guys remember how last week... Sorry, I feel like I'm super tall. I'm really not. I'm 5 feet tall. Okay, last week, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville challenged Ember Moon to a tag team match if she could even find a partner. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville is next versus Ember Moon and Bayley. Mandy and Sonya charge Ember and Bayley before the bell. Sonya does a big knee to Bayley. This is after the bell. Sorry, I didn't write bell. Everything was happening so quickly. Sonya does a big knee to Bayley, cover, kick out. Mandy tags in, bounces Bayley's throat on the rope, and Bayley tags to Ember, who gives Mandy huge kicks. Ember Moon goes to the top rope, but Sonya runs in, and so Bayley runs in to stop her. Because, okay, Mandy Rose is laying on the ground. Ember Moon's up here. So Sonya Deville's going to run in to push her down so she can't tackle Mandy. Bayley runs in, stops Sonya, does a belly-to-belly. So Ember Moon does her Eclipse. Covers for 3, Ember Moon and Bayley win. The interviewer comes in the ring. I think it was Charlie. And says, who do you want to face for your title? And Bayley says, I'm so done with fighting Alexa Bliss. I want to fight somebody that is charismatic, deserving of this title, dedicated to the title if I lose it, and someone that I've never fought before. And then she looks over at Ember Moon. Guys, Bayley versus Ember Moon? Okay. I see what you're doing, Eric Bischoff. Then we have a backstage promo of Shinsuke Nakamura saying something. And then Ali walks by and says, "Congratulations, champ." So, okay. Maybe my sound was turned down, but I have no idea what Shinsuke said at all. But can we get a Nakamura-Ali rivalry? Is that what's happening? What did we deserve? What did we do to deserve Eric Bischoff? Okay, all three New Day come in the ring. What's that? Don't you dare be sour. Big E says he knows what Daniel Bryan's announcement is, and instead of having a 10-minute lecture on recycling, fracking, and the ice cream licking epidemic, liking ice cream is fine. The ice cream licking epidemic, and then he says, "Please stop with that. Yes, you can have your tag team rematch with us right now." Daniel Bryan and Rowan come out. Then they leave. Then they come back out. Long pause. Then they go backstage. Then they come back out. And then Daniel Bryan just does a mic drop and then leaves. Enter Samoa Joe with a black eye. Joe says since Kofi's two dancers are accepting challengers for their title, Kofi should do the same and refight Joe. Enter Elias. Elias says Joe lost at Extreme Rules and Elias deserves a chance. Enter Randy Orton. He wants a shot at the title because, to be frank, he misses it. Elias says since they can't all fight for the championship at once, they can still all teach New Day a lesson. Big E says, 10-man tag match? Okay. Randy Orton says, 6-man? Nah, I'm good. And he walks away. And at this point in my living room, I was saying, "Thank you, Orton." Because do I need to tell you again how sick I am of 6-man tag matches? New Day then insults Randy Orton's manhood. I will not say what they said because this is for the kids. Randy turns around. There's a commercial. Come back. 6-man tag match. After the commercial, Elias automatically has Kofi in a headlock. Kofi gets out, does a big jump on Elias. Elias tags to Joe, who pummels Kofi in the corner and throws him into the turnbuckle. Kofi gets Joe down, tags Xavier. Xavier does a big elbow and tags to Big E. And Joe tags to Elias. Big E has Elias in a hold, then drops him. Big E tags to Xavier, and they do a wheelbarrow to Elias, kick out. Woods gives a big boot to face to Elias, cover, kick out. Xavier goes to run the ropes, but Orton on ringside grabs his hair and throws him down. The ref does not see. Elias delivers a big elbow and throws Woods outside the ring. Then he tags to Joe, who throws Woods back in. Joe punches Woods' head, tags to Orton. Orton does a chop while Woods is on the ground, throws him out of the ring, slams him on the announce table, throws him back in, cover, kick out. Tag to Elias, who throws Woods down, takes out Kofi and Big E on the apron. Joe does a kick to Big E on ringside. Now, Elias has Woods on the top turnbuckle and is about to do something, but Xavier fights him off, then does a missile drop. He tags to Kofi, and there's also a tag to Orton. Kofi jumps on him, does a boom drop. Randy dodges Trouble in Paradise, and Kofi dodges an RKO. Kofi does a huge drop kick and covers to Randy, but Elias breaks it up. So the whole New Day run in. Big E gets Joe out of the ring, and Xavier flies on him. Joe hits Xavier, and Big E runs over to do something, but Elias does a huge kick, runs in the ring, and Kofi does Trouble in Paradise. But you guys, Elias is not the legal man. Randy Orton is. RKO, not really out of nowhere, because, no, kind of out of nowhere. Cover for 3, Samoa Joe, Elias, and Randy Orton win. Okay, then we have backstage. Carmelo's looking for R-Truth, finds him in a bin. He says he's trying to... Rocky. He says he's trying to protect his 24/7, 7-Eleven, 245 divided by 7 title. And Carmella said, if you really want to know where you should hide, you should go to Comic-Con. And R-Truth says, Con? Man, I did my time. I'm not a con anymore. And she's like, no, Comic-Con. Let's just go. So he tries to get out of the bin, and the whole bin topples over with him inside. Because he's R-Truth, and he's awesome. Next, we have the Iconics versus the Kabuki Warriors. You have no idea how pumped I was for this fight. With Paige on ringside for the SmackDown Women's Tag Team titles. When we come back from the commercial, the Kabuki Warriors are already in the ring. We're not going to sing it because they would not squash them. We are not going to sing it. Kairi Sane immediately gets slapped by Peyton, and so Kairi chops her. Tag to Asuka. Big double knees. Double knees. Cover, kick out. There's a kick to Asuka, and Peyton tags Billy. Asuka kicks her in the head, so she rolls out. And you know the ref is counting. She starts to come back in, but Billy grabs her leg, pulls her back down, and holds her at ringside. There's a 10 count. So the Kabuki Warriors win, but the Iconics retain the title. That's what happened. But after the Iconics retain, Asuka drives Peyton into the post. Kairi takes down Billy. Asuka does her, butt thing. I forget what it's called. Peyton's in the corner and she, like that. And Kairi does a flying elbow. The Iconics run away. Next we have Andrade with Zelina Vega on ringside versus Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews! I'm so excited. I adore him so much. He's just so happy and he's so talented, and I love happy people. Okay, before the bell, Andrade meets Apollo with a bunch of kicks. Apollo says he can go on, so there's the bell. Andrade meets Apollo with more kicks and a back elbow. Double knees, and Andrade then starts to pin Apollo. Apollo reverses the pin. Andrade's shoulders are down. 3 count. Apollo Crews wins. Is he done being buried? Finally? I really hope so. Eric Bischoff, I just want to give you a hug. Next we have our main event. It's Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens. Kevin tries the stunner, but Dolph rolls out. Because remember at Extreme Rules, Dolph lost to a stunner in 17 seconds? Not today. Kevin dives at him, gets him back in, goes to the top rope, flips, but Dolph gets his knees up. Dolph has a huge hold. You really got a hold on me. No, he puts him in a hold, rakes his eyes, does a neck breaker, but Kevin kicks out. Dolph puts him in a submission, but Kevin gets out. Dolph kicks, throws Kevin into the turnbuckle post, then does a DDT to Kevin Owens. Cover, Kevin Owens kicks out. Dolph flies to Kevin in the ring. It's not through the ropes. That's why I didn't say shoo, because it was in the ring, so it's little bit, I don't know. We'll make a new sound effect for that. He moves, so Dolph Ziggler hits the turnbuckle post. Kevin goes up to the top rope, flips, cover, Dolph kicks out. Then Shane McMahon walks down the ramp with every single male that is on the SmackDown Live roster. They surround the entire ring. While Kevin's watching this, Dolph does a zigzag. Cover, Kevin Owens kicks out. Dolph throws Kevin into the turnbuckle post, and Kevin just slaps him. Dolph does a bunch of big punches to Kevin in the turnbuckle. Dolph throws him into the turnbuckle post again, and he goes for the super kick, but KO dodges, does the stunner. Cover, 1, 2, Shane pulls Kevin out at ringside. So Kevin runs, just runs. And the entire SmackDown Live men's roster runs after him. Then at the very end, Charlie interviews Shane McMahon, who has just been stunnered, so he's all and he just says Kevin Owens is gonna pay. But anyway, that was SmackDown Live tonight. I know I'm missing doing a Love Island, if you guys are watching my reality ones too. But for some reason, it hasn't shown up on my on-demand yet. It goes episode 4, then 6. And 6 hasn't aired yet. Well, I guess it aired tonight. But there's no 5. Believe me, I've been checking all day. So I hate to let you guys down, but this honestly is out of my control. I'm going to have to watch a different summary video. That's not me. Which is fine. I kind of annoy myself. But anyway, 205 Live, I'm going to try to get done tonight. No promises. Big Brother tomorrow. Also have NXT UK tomorrow. I'll do that somewhere around when I work. Sorry. Just dancing. The incredible Oz Banks and I do a podcast called Beyond Serious. It is not safe for work. Oh, and I should have said this last night. On Tuesdays, if you follow Beyond Serious on Facebook, on Tuesday mornings, we do a brief part of the show on Facebook Live. So feel free to do that or follow them on Twitter. You can also follow, personally, me on Twitter. Oz Banks has like 10,000 followers. Our show has like 20,000 followers. I have a lot of followers. Well, I mean like over 1,000. But, there's just me and him on the show. And he has 10,000. Like, what's up? But he does like 3 or 4 shows. You've heard of him. Anyway, so you can follow me on Twitter at always_KIRSTIE. I live tweet things. Sometimes I'm funny. And thank you, everybody, for watching. If I don't annoy you too much, feel free to subscribe. Thank you so much for all my new subscribers. I really appreciate it. Shout out to Ashley and Chris. And as Joel McHale used to say, I watch it so you don't have to. Bye.